Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about the softwood and hardwood. So, in that wood, see this one, the center part is hardwood. That is also called as heart of that one. It is more in the hardwood. In the softwood, the amount of this hardwood is less here. So, we saw this. Differences between the softwood and hardwood in this slide. So next let us see these are the different types of timber trees available in India. They are, see this one, teak, mango, babul, mulberry, bamboo, walnut. So these are some of the examples of timber which are available in the India. Now, let us see the classification of timber. According to the manner of growth of trees, timber can be classified as. So, most of you know this one. Most of you are familiar this wood, but you don't know how to group that one. I am grouping here. That is the only difference between you and me. Okay, now if we see this classification, exogenous or outward growing timbers, that is classification of these trees or timber. If you see, the first one is the classification according to the exogenous or outward growing. Next one is endogenous or inward growing. So based on the exogenous or outward growing, we have again two types, that is conifers or evergreen trees, and deciduous or broad leaf trees. So I think somewhere else you might have seen this kind of trees. Okay, we see again, in exogenous trees, the growth takes place from the center by adding of concentric layers of fresh wood every year, known as annual rings. So now we go back again, you see this one here, you will see the rings. Particularly here, if you see, we have the rings. For suppose if it is having, if you cut this one, where if you see these kinds of 10 rings, that means it is born 10 years back. So see this one, these rings are coming every year. One ring will be forming over that one. All the rings are concentric. Concentric means center of all the circles are same. That is called as concentric. So that kind of addition of, see this one, concentric layer, that is the ring layer. Why it is a layer means, vertically if you say, this seems to be a layer ring in the a layer in the form of ring formed over the layers. If you have the number of rings or layers 10, that is it was born 10 years back. So these varieties of trees are suitable for this kind of trees are used for building and other engineering uses. The exogenous trees are again, so okay, these are classified as conifers or evergreen trees, and deciduous or broadleaf trees. You got idea of this one. So the evergreen trees, that first one gives softwoods, and the broadleaf trees gives the hardwood common. That is example of hardwood are sal, sesame, oak beech, ash, ebony, etc. So softwood include kale pine, deodar in Telugu we are carrying chair, etc. These are the classification and examples of this exogenous or outward growing trees. So in what, in the endogenous, in that one, these trees goes inwards. Every fresh layer of sapwood is added inside instead of the outside cane, just like bamboo, coconut. So here in this inward growing, the layers are forming from outward to center. So outward growing, where the layers, that is the rings, are forming from center to outside. So there and here the rings are concentric. And example for this inward growing, those are cane, that is bamboo, and even in the coconut also. If you see that rings are forming, that means if one ring is formed in the next year, that ring which is formed in previous year is expanded, inside another ring is formed. This is inward growing. In outward growing, the ring which is formed in the previous year, that is stationary. That will, there is no change in that one. Additional ring or layer is formed over that one. It is not here in this inward growing trees. It is not like that. First, for suppose in the year one ring or layer is formed. In the second year, another ring is formed at the center. Means that ring which is formed in the previous year is expanded, and second layer or ring is formed. In the third year, another ring is formed at the center. The layer which is formed in the first year, second year will be expanded. So like that, that layers are forming inside the towards coming inside the center. So that is about the inward growing things. Now if you see the seasoning of tree, so seasoning, if you don't use this kind of treatment on the wood, they are affected. Suppose for suppose if in the winter season or rainy seasons, if you say if you use low quality wood in the rainy season, they absorb the water and they will be expanded. So if you use the making of that kind of low quality wood in making of doors or window doors, if you say, you will see the difficulty of closing the doors. So to avoid that one, those woods are to be coated with some paint. Every year we are seeing we are applying in the houses, especially when the festivals come. Okay, we used to apply in old days. Nowadays, okay, once in 3 years or 2 years we are applying this. Once in 5 years, so we have the quality paints also. Life of the paint over the wood will be increased, then wood will not be affected. So that different kinds of seasoning we see on the wood to protect it from the atmosphere and other things. So seasoning of wood is used for removing the sap and reducing the moisture content. So seasoning, first of all, it won't allow the wood to extract the absorb the moisture. Okay, if anything is there, that will be removed from the wood. The presence of sap and moisture will reduce the wood unsuitable for engineering works. I already told you. So that shape will be changed due to moisture in that one, due to uneven shrinkage, crack, warping, and decay. So that kind of problem difficulties we see in the wood. To avoid those things, so we have to, as per the season, as for the application of the wood, we have to use different kinds of seasoning over the wood. See this one, this is air seasoning or natural seasoning. So water seasoning to protect the that is, this air seasoning is applied on the wood to protect it from the atmospheric moisture and other things. So even in winter season also we have the moisture. In that one, due to that one, it will be expanding. To avoid that one, seasoning is applied over that one. So electrical seasoning, this one, this is in the furnaces. KL and kin is just like furnace where also to protect the wood from the hot atmosphere. So where we apply this seasoning over the wood.